What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Ecosolaris heat pump. June marks the 2-year anniversary from the day I put this thing in my garage. We're about a week and a half late, but better late than never. I'm going to be giving this thing a little bit of maintenance today, as well as showing you how to tear down the indoor head unit, and I'll just kind of give a brief overview of how it's been working. Just came off of about a week and a half, real hot spell. This thing's been working great, keeping the garage really cool, around 69, 70 degrees every day. When the batteries get full, I just fire this thing up and we run for free off of the solar panels in the back. We still have it hooked up to the 6000 XP over here, so I let it do its thing most of the day. By the time I get home from work, the batteries are pretty much full. I just click this thing on and cool the garage off, really for no other reason than it's free hydro. I can just get this thing cooled off and have a nice comfortable space if I'm doing some work out here after hours. And yeah, it's been really good. So I'm gonna get the head unit torn down. We're gonna give this indoor coil and blower wheel a wash. It's really not too bad. I keep up on changing the filters pretty good on this thing, but we'll take it apart, kind of show you what the inside looks like. We haven't actually torn down the head unit yet, and just give it a quick maintenance. So before I get started, I like to put the unit into fan only mode so the outdoor unit is not running, and then come over here and just kill the power to it. I like to do it while it's running because it leaves the louvers open. I don't have to move them manually and risk damaging anything with the stepper motor, and then we can go ahead and take it apart. Okay, so here it is all stripped down. This is our control board on the right side. We have our coil. Looks pretty good overall. A couple cobwebs on there, but nothing too serious. I'm pretty happy with that for the 2-year mark. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little drink of white vinegar down the coil, or sorry, down the pan, just to free up any gunk that's starting to build up in there. Again, looks pretty good, but it doesn't hurt to give it a little splash now and then. And I'm going to show you guys my new coil cleaning setup. I've been using this thing on some condensers lately. Pretty cool little setup. It works great for mini splits. This one doesn't really need it. Take a look at the wheel here. I actually have already tried it out on the wheel not that long ago, so the wheel's pretty clean, but I'll show you the setup anyway in case you are interested in something like this yourself, and we'll get it set up. Okay, so you guys have seen this bag before. I used this one on the EG4 mini split to clean that out. It works pretty good, just an Amazon kind of cheapo. I think it's like 40, 50 bucks maybe for the kit. This is my newest piece of cleaning equipment. This is the DeWalt pressure cleaner. It's a DCP 550 or something like that. I've got a stubby little barrel on it here. We're gonna be using the medium pressure tip. You would not wanna use a standard power washer on your mini split, but this thing is fairly low pressure in comparison. I've done a few of these. It works really good. It's got enough pressure to get the job done, but it doesn't damage the coil. So definitely don't go and use any old power washer without knowing for sure that it's not going to damage it. Nice thing about this is if you don't have water nearby, you can just plop this thing down in the bucket. I 3D printed this little collar there to hold that in place, and works pretty good. It's nice and portable if you don't have access to a hose. So I'm going to get set up and start blasting. Okay, well, everything's washed up, looking pretty shiny and new. Like I said, it really wasn't that bad, but more or less just wanted to show you guys my new cleaning equipment, show you how good of a job it does. Look it up at the wheel. Like I said, wasn't too bad before, but nice and squeaky clean. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this water dried up and we'll put it back together. Okay, so most of the water has dripped out of the unit. I've got it in cooling mode now, set for 18 for the Americans. We're coming out at 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Garage is sitting at 72 Fahrenheit, so really nice temp split. I've got the fan on medium. We'll go outside and take a quick look at the outdoor unit, give you just a nice audio clip of that thing purring along nice and quiet. This is the little soap cannon I use for that DeWalt gun as well. Again, this unit really didn't need it, not very dirty, but I put this thing on. It's kind of like a car wash soap dispenser. Puts a nice foam on the indoor unit or the condensing unit, whatever you're washing, and works really good as a maintenance setup. And here's the outdoor unit, just whispering along nice and quiet. I'm just gonna stop talking and let you listen to how quiet this thing is. So again, guys, not too much to report on the Ecosolaris solar hybrid heat pump. It's been working great. Really haven't had to make any videos on it other than this update to let you know it's still working good. I almost forgot this thing is an R32 unit, which is convenient nowadays with the A2L refrigerants being mandatory in the United States. They're already ahead of the game on R32 and really no change for the future. They're still pumping out these units as normal. You can check them out at the link below if you're interested. And if you're Canadian, these are a pretty comparable cost to the EG4 unit, especially when you factor in bringing them across the border or paying tariffs on them out of the United States. Good option for you if you're looking to add some solar cooling to your garage, house, cabin, whatever the case may be. Good little unit. So I'll drop some links below. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.